Greetings for everyone from Turkey, Kastamonu. My name is Erdem Güven, and I'm making an uh, giving a speech about Muhammad Ali and his role in Turkish public opinion and media. When we look at Muhammad Ali or Cassius Clay at the first sight, we can see that Cassius Clay rejected Christianity and embraced Islam because he chose to reject the religion that serves the white American way of life. By rejecting Christianity, he also rejected the way of Martin Luther King, who was also a pacifist, and he was a Baptist in the Black American history. In those years, the opinions of Elijah Muhammad and especially Malcolm X, who were evaluated as black nationalists, were uh, affected the Muhammad Ali's thoughts. By choosing the way of Prophet Muhammad, uh, although it was an heterodox version, they tried to gain an identity. The black people tried to gain an identity different than the white Americans. From now on, Christianity was seen as the religion of the colonists, compatible with the Frantz Fanon's opinions. This emancipation movement, especially the thoughts of Malcolm X, also affected the Socialists' Black Panthers Party that was founded by Huey P. Newton, although they do not identify themselves with Islam. The change of Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali affected the black emancipation movement in many ways. From now on, Ali became an unofficial spokesman of the Nation of Islam and the black movement in general, with the Black Panthers Party and the other black nationalist groups. Although he was a kind of stranger in Louisville, where he was born, now he became a freedom figure and one of us for all the African and Middle Eastern countries by using his sportive success. He changed the situation of boxing arenas and used those arenas as political pulpits where he rejected being an entertainment figure for the white Americans. By rejecting the army service and a public relations hero of the US in the Vietnam War, he also gained the support of the third world countries. As a Muslim, as a Muslim, his successful boxing matches were watched by the audiences of Muslim countries, and he was embraced as, and also the African countries, and he was embraced as the superhero of those countries. Although his heavyweight championship was taken away from him by the US and the European boxing federations, the masses, especially in the Middle Eastern countries, recognized him as the world champion. They keep on recognizing him as a world champion. And we can say he was the champion of the hearts of those people. So he also recognized as the champion of the Turks, and by many people he was known as a Turk, strong as brave as strong and brave as a Turk. He was evaluated. So he was recognized as the champion of the Turks just after he embraced Islam. In those years, we have to look briefly the relationship between the U.S. and the Turkey, and we can see that in those years, Turkey and U.S. relationship was not very well because of the Cyprus peace operation and the forbidding of the hashish plantation of the U.S. And in those years, we can see many folk songs praising Muhammad Ali as an anti-imperialist figure in Turkey. For example, one of them, the verses of one of them is like this: Punch Ali the lion, punch, punch in order to blow imperialist America's brains out. That grabs your championship by force. Punch, punch in the name of Islam. Punch for the championship, for humanity, for the rights, for Allah. Punch, my dear Ali, punch. There is a strong belief in Muhammad Ali. His punches are strong too. How did Foreman the pig roll into the ring? Punch to the face of the infidel. For the sake of Islam, my dear Ali. There is a war between Islam and the infidels. The fascist USA told us not to plant hashish. In the name of Ali, the Caliph, the fourth Caliph of Islam, in the name of Ali, punch my Ali, punch. For the sake of humanity, punch my Ali, punch. For the sake of the exploited, punch my Ali, punch. So we can see that there are many different thoughts. There are many different kinds of thoughts in those verses. We have to know that this song is quite remarkable for one reason. First, the citation of Ali's name, Ali. As we have mentioned before, Muhammad Ali is a reference to Prophet Muhammad in one side and his son-in-law and the fourth caliph Ali. In Turkish Islamic tradition, as well as in the heterodox version of Islam, Turkish Alevite Islam, Alevis, Ali is much revered just as in Shia Islam. Furthermore, in line with the traditions, songs and poems praising Ali, the Caliph Ali, and his courage are the part of Turkish religious and folkloristic tradition. Therefore, the wording used the aforementioned song is certainly no coincidence and helped to make Ali even more popular in Turkey. Besides that, the political anti-imperialist message is in line with Ali's political beliefs, the Caliph Ali's political beliefs, but also represents the Turkish leftists' worldview. Prophet Ali is also represents the Turkish leftists' worldview. This means that right-wing and left-wing political camps both embraced Ali in Turkey, along with the positive image of the fellow black Muslim. This contributed towards the popularity of Ali in Turkey as a positive role model for everyone. Uh, According to some scholars, Muhammad Ali was followed by the Turkish audience since 1960 Rome Olympic Games. However, he became the boxer of the Turks, in quotation marks, the boxer of the Turks, after he had been converted to Islam in 1964. Alongside being a Muslim, his anti-imperialist stance in the Vietnam War and the role in the Black Rights movement made Muhammad Ali more popular in Turkey. Muhammad Ali became the symbol of resistance to imperialism and the spokesman of the anti-imperialist struggle and the third world countries in the eyes of the Turkish audience. For instance, when Ali became the world heavyweight champion in 1975, Turkish people went crazy and poured into streets, according to Ferhat Özbadem, an investigator and scholar, because in those years the US was imposing an economic embargo on Turkey. This is one of the problems with the US and Turkey. And we can say that the secularists and the leftists of Turkey embraced Ali as an anti-imperialist figure who rejected to join the US Army for the Vietnam War, and the Islamists put forward his belief in Turkey. So we have to say our last words, a conclusion we have to make. In conclusion, we can say that the boxer Cassius Clay, before converting to Islam, was a subject for sports-interested media consumers in Turkey only insofar as his sportive success was concerned. However, after Muhammad Ali embraced Islam, both leftist and rightist newspapers of Turkey approached him with even more interest and sympathy. Not only the newspapers, but also the audiences embraced him with sympathy. If we look at the media, we can see that the conservative newspapers tried to monopolize Ali's image for their own agenda, and the leftist media also worked on the subject with great interest. However, the leftist newspapers also reported on Ali with certain political tendencies, stressing his stance against the Vietnam War, his support for the Third World, and his anti-imperialist tendencies. While the Islamist newspapers such as Milli Gazete stressed that Ali refused to join the army and that did not abide the rules of Allah. The Milli Gazete and the Islamic newspapers looked from that side. And another newspaper, a leftist newspaper, Cumhuriyet, one of the most important newspapers of Turkey, stressed Ali's anti-imperialist stance for refusing the military service. Summarized, Ali became highly popular in Turkey due for his embrace of Islam and was revered by by Turks of all political camps as a positive role model, and his worldview was more or less shared by the largest part of the Turks. Thanks for listening me. Greetings from Turkey. Greetings from Kastamonu.